Are we? Okay, cool.
Piece of equipment. It's a piece of equipment that is symbolizes about that time.
Is that weird person?
Care feeding people because you can't
Seems good for all.
grow without plowing the ground. So that's why you turn swords of plowshare to the thing that kills people. Great.
Okay. Well, let's see. We have more people coming through the door right now, coming into our presence. And, I wrote a song a long time ago about, finding the place you want to sit, and it goes, let's see. When you find your seat, let it be the seat of your soul. When you find your light, let it be the light of the world. We all come together to find a new and different way. Yeah, we gotta work on that, Larry. Let's work on that. I like that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
No.
All right, you guys. Well, we made it here, and our start today, by the way, because we have Larry as our musician today.
I am not Mitch.
Yes. Yes, Larry. And we have Connor as well here today as musicians. But Larry loves to do a prelude for us, and we love to listen to that. It just puts us in that space where we find this connection with each other and with this beautiful place that we call Unity of Pasadena. So just find your seat and slip into it and just enjoy the prelude that Larry is offering us today. You want to do it, Larry?
Yeah.
Perfect. And now our congregation song. We'd love you to join in on this song, please. I think the words are going to be up on the screen. And if you need it closer to you, I think there are some words out on some of the seats. So.
Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see beauty on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the rush of angel wings. I see beauty on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Wow. She's so artistic.
Well, you knew Michelle was going to throw the blues into part of that, you know. I mean, she waited till the end to do it, but you got that, Michelle? So you guys noticed probably, because this is a well-known, beloved hymn, you noticed that we changed the words. And we changed the words not because we're defiant or anything, but we wanted to open it up from something that bespeaks of let's say a patriarchal figure who stands a little larger than life behind a podium or a statue, which would be the presence of the Lord in this place, to the presence of a principle that is often considered to be the presence of God. So we changed the presence of the Lord to the presence of love, which, by the way, if you can feel the essence of what that is, it's essentially the same thing, but it is giving us a wider berth. It's giving us a wider idea of what it is we want to feel and know and understand. So it's within us instead of just outside of us. So welcome to Unity of Pasadena, you guys. This is a place where we do what we want to do. And it just so happens that we want to have an experience together that is enlightening, that is transformative, that is beautiful, that is true, that is reflective of our authentic selves, which is the presence of God within us, as us. So here at Unity of Pasadena, we believe that there's really only one thing, and I've developed a saying that you guys know very well. Would you join me in this? There's only one thing. It may look like more than one thing. It may feel like more than one thing, but it's only one thing. Expressing as you, expressing as me, and everything we see. Yes, yes. Now that's a statement of oneness. As if unity, the word itself, doesn't give us that idea that this is what we're going to experience here. I think that statement gives us a great idea. So welcome. I also want to welcome the people who are on live stream. We have people that show up on Facebook, and we have people that show up on YouTube as well. And then we have a way of hearing this talk again or for the first time on our website. It shows up as a podcast. And we post that on it's on the first page of the website, right? First page of the website, so you'll see it right away. And you can click on it and listen to the talk if you'd like to do that at some point in time. So we have all kinds of ways you can join us. And we have absolutely loved the idea that we can bring in people from all over the world through our live streaming. And we do. We have people from Las Vegas. Hello, you guys. We got people from Illinois. We have people from Michigan. We have people from Tennessee. And we have a couple of people that actually join in from outside of the United States. So welcome, all of you. So we also have a unity blessing I'd like you to join me in. It's up on the screen for you. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are and who and what you are becoming. And we have a statement of faith I'd like you to join me in as well. There's only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good omnipotence, and I am one with that presence and power. So let's just take a nice deep breath and release it. And we're going to do it again, but this time I just want you to sink into your seat as you release it. Make yourself very comfortable. Inhale, exhale. Know that the presence of Spirit, the presence of God is in this very space, in, around, and through each and every one of us. We often recognize the presence of God as love. It can be so many things. It can show up for you as your pet, as a beloved relative, as your grandmother. It can show up for you as a place that you sit and spend time on a log, or wherever it is that you're finding this feeling of oneness. You're feeling the love of the presence of God. So feel that right now. Just bring to mind, bring to your heart that presence of love. This is what we're feeling. This is what we're spreading. This is what we're giving. This is what we're receiving. What a beautiful place to do it in. We are so thankful for Unity of Pasadena, and we're thankful for the Board of Trustees that takes such great care of this space. We're so thankful for each and every one of you that do the things that make this a really home, a home for us, a home felt place. We're greeted at the door. There's food for us that people bring. We have people who volunteer their time for live streaming and for PowerPoint, and we have people that do the greeting as well as our ushering. And so we're grateful for everything that we bring to this space, including our team of prayer chaplains who hold the light for each and every one of us. And of course, we have our musicians that bring this spiritual energy that just not only comforts us, but drives us to align with life in a way that is so, so beautiful. And so we have a lot of things to be grateful here at Unity of Pasadena. I'm grateful for you, and I know that you are grateful for each of us as well. And so it's with this gratitude, it's with this knowing that all is well, everything is unfolding as it should, that I release these words in the law of mind, knowing that they're done. And please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Did that almost put you to sleep? You know, sometimes I worry about being on the second step when I'm doing the prayer, because who knows, you know, I could put myself to sleep sometimes, you know, or into that space, you know. Oh, calm, that's what we need. So I have this thing that I like to do, and I know you guys are very supportive of what it is I'm doing here, because you're putting questions into the basket, and I really, really appreciate that you do this. Today, I have two granddaughters here, two of our granddaughters. We have Kylie and we have Addison. Now, as I was looking, I'm so glad they're here, but there's a reason why I'm introducing them right now, because I was looking through, you know, to see if there was one that caught my attention, and there was a blank one in here, for sure a blank one. I could see that there was nothing on it. And so I said, we need to...
1 second.
Yeah.
If somebody has a white Honda parked back there, your alarm's going off. Is that you? Oh, thank you, sorry.
Well, look at that. No, I am marveling at the fact that a car alarm actually worked to get somebody's attention. You know, I mean, in a positive way. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for that. Because they usually don't. You know, you just walk by and nobody calls the police. None of that stuff, you know. That's no. This is the preface to that, because this blank one, I said, you need to write a question on it. I said, you need to write a question. And so Addison had a question. And so I'm going to do that question so that we can see what Addison's thinking. All right. By the way, very introspective. Both of them are really introspective. Kylie actually comes to the service whether she's here or not. You know that. She's on live stream every Sunday. And I kind of made a joke last week that she likes Allison better than she likes me. That's why she shows up, you know. But it really includes Trish as well. She absolutely loves Trish. And so I hope you're on today, Trish, and you heard that. All right, what do we have? Oh. What is church for? That's a great question. What is church for? But it's in its simplicity, it's asking something that I think we need to all answer for ourselves, and so I'm going to give you a little bit of an answer about how I feel about it. So we're a community. We're a community. And communities can pop up everywhere, and usually they have a specific purpose. Addison plays softball, and the community that they have, that the parents have formed and the players have formed, is for a specific purpose. I mean, they don't go there and talk about things that matter in their spiritual life or in their physical life or in their family or whatever. They don't do that. They go there for a different reason. All communities spring up all over the place for different reasons. And Addison, this one has sprung up because we want to grow together. But not only do we want to grow together, we want to be an open door for people who haven't had the opportunity, maybe felt like they've had the opportunity ever to step through that door and become part of a community. There are people, let's say, who may have found themselves alone for whatever reason, brand new to the area, maybe just gotten out of a difficult circumstance, maybe just gotten out of prison. And they would like to become a part of a community, but don't feel that they've ever been part of anything. And so we want to be that open door so that people can be a part of a community that's all what I call pulling on the same end of the rope. We're all working toward the same purpose. I like to think we're moving toward transformation, that we're working toward our greater yet to be. And I like that phrase because that means we're on our way. That means it's possible. And, you get to call the shots when it happens. And then you get to look for your next greater yet to be. So we do all that here, and we revel in these relationships that we have created. And we sing about them. And we pray about them. And we feel around them and through them. And life becomes better for us. That's why we're here. Is your life better right now after hearing that? Just say yes. Just say yes. Thank you for the question. What a question. What is church for? Wow. How'd I do? Oh, no, I got 17 more seconds. Have you heard the joke? Oh, no. Yeah, I rarely end early. So that's, wow, isn't that interesting? So it's time for us to sing. So, Connor, I'm introducing you and happy to have you here. And Larry is your pianist today. I've heard you guys warm up, and I am thrilled. So, here we go.
Please welcome Connor, my friend from musical theater.
Yay!
Famous song by James Taylor, Fire and Rain.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You just gotta see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand, and I won't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines and pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Thought I'd see you, fire and rain now.
Good morning, everyone. Great song. Thank you. That was great. We love Sundays, don't we?
We love Sundays.
Yes, we do. Here at Unity of Pasadena, Sundays are our favorite day. Okay, well, when I first read the title of today's daily word, I thought, beauty pageant, world peace, right? Okay. Anyway, a little different here. But the peace of my soul brings peace to the world. The Bible's sacred pairings, lions and lambs, swords and plowshares, reveal that peace becomes possible when I and others hold life's polarities in harmony. These verses remind me that wholeness arises not from opposition, but from integration. Within all people, strength and tenderness, boundaries and compassion, courage and vulnerability arise from the same divine source. Lion and lamb are not rivals. They are facets of one creation. Sword and plow are not contradictions. They are different tools for transformation. Peace begins when we see that opposites, both within and around us, can be allies rather than adversaries. As this realization takes root, any impulse to defend or harden begins to fade. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, as their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Isaiah 2:4.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think I'm going to make friends with this guy. We'll get used to him eventually, right? I'm here to do a meditation to bring thought to your mind. Last night, I listened to a man talk about the earth and using it to grow, to live. He spent some time with the Amish people and what talked about survival and how to maintain. And he talked about AI in a way that made me a little uncomfortable. I am a person of the earth. I definitely like to garden. I eat what I grow. It's part of me as well as anything else. And AI, I'm not what you would call techie, but I do like to learn about the different things that are up there. And he talked about the grid going down and the problems that that would lead to. And put a little bit of, I would say, fear. I don't like the word fear because I don't think that's proper. What I know about AI is minimal. However, it is a place where you've got both. You've got the earth to grow, to eat, to be who you are. You've got the sky and AI, who people are technical enough to protect us, to love us. And I talked to somebody on the way up here and mentioned this, and he brought to mind, which brings me back to the earth and nature, is bats and how they guide themselves through life and all that they are, and how a moth, a small little moth, has learned to combat them. And I found that very interesting because I think AI works in a similar way. So with that, I want people to look within yourself because I think that's where it's most important, to know who you are, what you want, and make this world what you want it. Help people to see and eliminate the fear, because we don't live with fear. We live with love. We live with togetherness. You know your neighbor. You know, be kind to the people that you meet and you see. Put love in your heart and your mind and step forward. And that's what I want you to do today, is to think all the things that we have out there to share, the people who are trying to put us in a position of love. No matter how you want to look at it, no matter what way you put it, come back to love and use that in your life. So, with that, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Take another deep breath in and let it go. Know who you are. All right. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Take a deep breath in as you do. Bring in the light, bring in the love, and let it go. Do that once more by breathing in and letting it go. In knowing who you are, you have everything you need. You have love, you have joy, you have happiness. Know that you can create it all in yourself. So enjoy this day.
Oh, there we are. Okay. What is this from? What is this from? Musical? Secret Garden. Oh, this is from Secret Garden musical. It's called Hold On.
By Lucy Simon, Carly Simon's sister.
What you've got to do is finish what you have begun. I don't know just how, but it's not over till you won. When you see the storm is coming, see the lightning part the skies, it's too late to run, there's terror in your eyes. What you do then is remember this old thing you heard me say. It's this storm, not you, that's bound to go away. Hold on to someone standing by. Hold on, don't even ask how long or why. Child, hold on to what you know is true. Hold on till you get through. Child, hold on, hold on. When you feel your heart's a-pounding, feel the devil's at your door, there's no place to hide, you're frozen to the floor. What you do then is you force yourself to wake up and you say, it's this dream, not me, that's bound to go away. Hold on, the night will soon be by. Hold on, and think of something else to try. Child, hold on, there's angels on their way. Hold on and hear them say, child, oh child, and it doesn't even matter if the danger and the doom come from up above or down below, or just come flying at you from across the room. When you see a man who's raging and he's jealous and he's fierce, they've walked through walls he's hid behind for years. What you do then is you tell yourself to wait it out and say, it's this day, not me, that's bound to go away. Child, hold on, it's this day, not you, that's bound to go away.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you so much for the song. You know, I really like the idea that I can somehow meld two things together pretty easily, pretty well. And this idea of holding on for me fits perfectly in my talk as I meld it to this hold on until you can find a different way to see the world, a different way to see yourself, a different way to see perhaps your future, or maybe the people that you interact with. Hold on until you can find the awareness to move to the next level. Because it's true, if you hold on for now, instead of just letting go and saying, forget this life, then it will change. It will change, and we'll help you. So today's talk, you guys, it's all about transformation. It's about wholeness, about finding wholeness. And it's the third element of Ken Wilber's 4 pillars of wholeness. Now, you know, we did waking up the first week. We did growing up last week, and today we're going to do cleaning up. So for those of you who weren't here for those last sessions, what we're doing is we are working on our awareness. And we're talking about finding a new lens through which to see life itself. And Ken Wilber breaks down the various areas that we need to take a look at so that we can find some cohesion in life and in our life. And we can start to move toward wholeness, toward healing. After all, you know, this unity business that we do here is a tradition that was born out of healing. And so when we talk about wholeness, we're really talking about healing. We're talking about moving back into that space where we actually show up as our authentic self. So this waking up business is about seeing the oneness in all that is. Recognizing that each and every person that we see is an expression of this oneness, that this world is actually non-dual. This universe is non-dual. And when I say non-dual, that means that there's really only one thing. There aren't two things. There aren't 1,000 things except for the expressions of this singular source. So, waking up to that truth is really important for us. We talked about what enlightenment really means and how people get there and how it's been happening over, you know, thousands and thousands of years, but sometimes we didn't see the full enlightened being, because when you find enlightenment as a child, you may not be able to utilize it in a way that really makes sense as you might as an adult. And what I'm saying is that people can very well be enlightened, yet not be grown up. And I use this example. There have been times when we have considered people over the course of history to be incredibly enlightened, and they still own slaves. I mean, now, how does that work? Well, they've awakened to this idea of oneness, yet they haven't grown up to the idea that there is a caring factor that must be included in this recipe for wholeness. And that caring factor was week number 2, which is growing up. We move through the egocentric self. That's all we care about is us. To, you know, now we're caring about our family, and that happens usually at a certain age. I mean, when kids get older, they start to understand that it's not just mine, but it's the family. It's this core group of people that seems to be important now. You know, it's the group of friends that you have at school. It's your classroom. It becomes a larger sense as you grow up a little more, and it could become your city, you know, your country. You find yourself becoming world-centric as you grow even more aware and caring. And you have some caring for not only the planet itself as our home, but for the people and the life that lives upon it. Then finally, we can see that there's more than just that as well. You know, and we expand the caring aspect and by the way, this is a real grown-up effect, because when you can expand the caring aspect to things that you have not seen or touched or felt or known yourself, you have placed yourself in a higher sphere. And then we talked about the noosphere, and you remember talking about the noosphere, where Barbara Marx Hubbard says that, yeah, I think, and we're trying to scientifically prove this, that there seems to be a band of wisdom, of knowledge around the earth that's produced through people who have moved into this level of authenticity to where they can care and love and be in a certain way. So it's an absolute truth that if you are enlightened without having grown up, you might be responsible for a lot of bad things in the world. You could be responsible for a lot of bad things in the world. But what else do we need to do? Well, we're talking today about the third pillar, which is cleaning up. So Ken Wilber says that cleaning up is really an important aspect of how we move through the world, because it doesn't necessarily have to do with what religion would call the cleaning up process, which is your exterior world, the way you live life. You know, cleaning up, you think, well, man, I need to clean my room. Right, girls? I need to clean my room. That's what you're thinking of, you know? Yeah. And it might mean that, you know, but it might also mean that, you clean up your life in ways that start to work, you know, for you. You know, you set structured schedules and you actually adhere to them. You know, you take care of the things that are broken. You fix them. You take care of not only yourself, but the world around you. And that's kind of a purity test. You know, religions like us to see that. That's kind of a purity test. I'm not talking about that, although it's important. I'm talking about the cleaning up of your insides. You know, the things that you can't see. I'm talking about cleaning up your insides. And oh boy, are there a lot of things that we must take a look at. Some things that we didn't know until just the last couple hundred years about what may need to be cleaned up. But it's certainly common knowledge. I mean, you know that you are affected by the things that you learn from friends, from parents, from your environment. You're affected by some of the things that you've read and understood, the groups that you've joined, the people that you've associated with over your life. Some people call that, that's just how I am. You know, I was raised by my parents, and that's just how I am. What they're really just saying is that I'm so affected by this stuff that I received and held onto in my subconscious mind that all I can do is let that demonstrate, let that show up in the world as my life. Sometimes that's bad. Sometimes that can be really, really bad. You know, some of the things that we've learned over time keep us from changing, keep us from moving into our greater yet to be. They keep us in this idea that there's nothing but what I already know. And there are a lot of people that live there. You know, I don't need to know anything else because, you know, what I know seems to be working. I think that's kind of a limited way of living. You know, I think it really is limited. So when Ken Wilber talks about, and by the way, other people do too, other really, really great mystics that talk about moving into an authentic life that considers wholeness, like Richard Rohr, for instance, say about these processes. They really are wanting you to take a deep dive into what's known as the shadow. Anybody here ever heard of the shadow? The shadow, those are things that you don't see about yourself. Those are things that are present within you that you don't see about yourself. Now, how do I know about the shadow aside from Ken Wilber? I'll tell you a little story. So you guys know that I teach lawyers. I'm a recovering lawyer. Yeah, which is, it's hard to recover from, by the way, because what it does is train you to think in a certain way. And sometimes that doesn't work in certain situations. So, I mean, you're always nitpicking people who you call friends or lovers or family or whatever because, oh, you weren't exactly right about the way you worded this or the way you worded that. Pulling yourself out of that is really, really hard. Ways of seeing things are drilled into you. You know, always being fearful around what is happening and trying to find the things that are wrong with what's happening. You know, that's what lawyers are supposed to do. And it really turns you into, you know, kind of a crazy person at heart. And it's hard to live there. It really is hard to live in that space, but it's hard for other people to live with you too. So knowing that lawyers have what we call implicit bias creates a level of study that I teach on a regular basis, and it's called bias in the legal profession. And I have to talk about how some of these biases that we don't even see affect the way that we handle our work, affect the way that we handle our clients, affect the way that we deal with jurors, affect the way we deal with judges, affect the way we deal with facts and types of cases and circumstances. You know, you have this internal idea of stuff, and you may not know where it came from, and it may not matter where it came from, but it's affecting the profession. It's affecting the administration of justice. It's affecting all of those things. You know, and it starts out with talking about whether or not there's implicit bias against, meaning you're not aware of it, but you would never hire a woman or a person of color as your lawyer. I mean, you ask people about that, and they'll say, if I were going to be facing the death penalty, I don't think I'd do that. You know, I want somebody that's going to be able to relate to the jury and to be powerful about what's being said. I don't know if somebody else could do that. That's the kind of implicit, scary bias that seems to affect us from the ground up. Young lawyers are having real trouble getting into the profession nowadays because we have a bias toward gray-haired white guys because they somehow, I guess, reek of wisdom. I don't know. But it's kind of crazy, isn't it? We have to make people aware of that. I'm stand up and tell people that, you know, this is the way you have to act. And if you're going to be, a part of society, a whole society that integrates anybody and everybody who can do this profession and help people, then we have to start hiring these people as lawyers. We have to start hiring these individuals as associates. We have to start making our law firm look more like the general public. I don't have to tell them that. All I have to do is raise the awareness. Do you feel like? How do you feel in situations like this? And then they're able to tell them themselves, and they do. Oh my gosh. Yes, I feel that way about that. I do feel that way about it. And I'm embarrassed that I feel that way about it. You know, would I hire a gay lawyer? I'm embarrassed to feel the way I feel about it. Raising the awareness is exactly what needs to be done in situations like that. I've been doing that for 20 years. I've been teaching lawyers how to see and pull up those implicit biases that affect the way that they operate every single day in every aspect of the law. I don't call it the shadow, but I know it is. See, you feel certain ways about stuff, and you don't even know it. You just keep operating that way. My father, he's not here to defend himself, but he wouldn't. He would tell you that's absolutely true. This is absolutely true, he'd say. But, I think that black people are too happy. Really. He'd say black people are too happy. They're always dancing around and jumping up and down, and apparently it made him uncomfortable. And I think that, to sit with him and talk to him about that today, if he were still alive, it would be, let's take a look at your happiness level. I mean, how is this feeling coming about for you, Is it your lack of happiness, or is it your feeling that maybe there's something morally wrong with it? Can't you be happy? Can't you be free? Can't you do what you want to do? I mean, this is it's crazy. But he would say that not understanding that there was something strange about it. Strange about it. I mean, you should be happy for people who are happy. I'm happy for people who are happy. So this implicit bias thing has been going around a long time in professions. They don't call it shadow, but I call it shadow. We call it shadow. What we're doing is we are bringing some of these things that push us in certain directions unconsciously to light. We're bringing some of those things to light. And I got some quotes that I really, really like that kind of help us to see this. And it's not that I'm prone to Bible quotes, but I know other people are. You see, I know people have an implicit bias toward wanting to hear the truth from the Bible. And if you don't use a Bible quote, maybe it's not true. Yes, there's some people nodding their head going, oh, yeah. I've been to those churches. So the Bible quote is, you will know the truth and the truth will make you free. Woo! You will know the truth and the truth will make you free. Well, in the light of what I just said, that there's a lot of things going on in your life below the surface, that aren't who you want to be, that aren't who you think you are, that need to be uncovered. You need to go in there and somehow root out these implicit, those things you can't see, ideas that are trapping you in old ways. Hey, you can wake up, you can grow up, but if you got all of these things you don't even know about that are driving you in a certain direction, all that work that you did is a little bit for naught, isn't it? I mean, have you ever gotten in your car and you know that you got to go to place B and you always usually go to place A? And so you start driving down that road, and all of a sudden, instead of taking the off-ramp for place B, because you don't do that very often, you are on your way to place A. Oh, man, I do that. I can't believe that I missed that off-ramp, for crying out loud. I keep telling myself the whole way I'm about ready to get to that off-ramp, and I go, take the off-ramp, take the off-ramp, take the off-ramp. And somehow, in the space of 5 seconds, I forget, and I go zoom right past the off-ramp. I know everybody's nodding their head. They're going, yeah. How is that? You're driven 95% of the time by your unconscious, by your subconscious mind, by the things you normally do, the things that you learn from other people, the things that you felt were right at one point in time, but maybe not so today. They peek up and they peek out from under the covers and they make decisions for you. Oh, you know it's true. You absolutely know it's true. You see it in other people before you see it in yourselves. Last week I talked about how this whole idea that, if you're pointing the finger at somebody, that's right, I'm pointing the finger at you, and there are 4 more pointing back at me. Yeah. I mean, there is projection that goes on in the shadow too, which is you are exactly who that person is that you are castigating, that you are saying, is doing this wrong or that wrong, or how could they be in this way? You're pointing the finger at them. I mean, not maybe literally, but figuratively. And those fingers are pointing right back at you because you are in the middle of projection. You don't like that in you, so you point it out in somebody else. Ooh, once you have the awareness that that is a possibility, you can put it on your list. You go, I don't like that guy. You go, ooh, how is that guy like me? Why is it problematic for me? Why does it strike a chord? Why does it bother me? What in that person is something I don't like in me? Is that a question you ask yourself often? Have you ever really asked yourself that question? This is part of cleaning up the shadow. I mean, we can do that kind of thing. Here's a really great one. It's not exactly projection, but I just love this. You see, the nicest people in the world oftentimes are that way because they're trying to cover up for how they really feel inside about people. They hate them. The nicest people in the world can be, as my teacher, a psychologist who teaches these types of things, can be a something or other whole. but they're covering it up because they think you are. They think that you are that, and they're not going to go there. They're going to be nice. So I went through this entire psychological examination of myself, and she said, you know what I believe about you, Greg? I don't know if you will agree with this. In fact, if you don't, that means it's probably true. But I believe that deep, deep down, you think you don't know anything. That's why you are so sure you're right. Oh, wow. And she said, your major assumption in life is that you don't know. And you don't want people to know that you don't know. And so you come up with an answer for everything, hence the 3-minute question. Well, I'll tell you what I learned from that. What I learned from that was that there is something really special about not knowing. There's something really amazing about not knowing, because not knowing means you're open. And if you're open, then you can choose the best out of a whole array of whatever it is that's out there to choose, rather than be forced to pick something that you think is right in the moment. Oh, wow. I think not knowing is an advanced state. That's what I think now. Not knowing is an advanced state. So I tell you all the time, I don't know. I don't know. It's because I want you to think I'm an advanced guy, you know? I don't know. I'm open to that. I'm open to that. Yeah, tell me more. Please tell me more about that. You know, rather than step up and go, oh, you know, if I find myself going back into those old ways, I might say something like, oh, you are so wrong. But nowadays I try, if I've got the awareness, to say, tell me more about that. You know? Yeah, give it all to me. And I want to hear it. That's a conversation, isn't it? Now that's a conversation. And pretty soon I've forgotten that I had something to add to the conversation that would make this person know that I am right and right all the time. And we have started engaging in a conversation from the heart, something fun, something interesting, something unique, something authentic, you know? But I got to give up that ego. I got to give up that ego idea. And you know, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know this stuff existed within me until I did some shadow work, until I got into that space where I could actually, you know, understand why it is I do the things I do. Wouldn't that be nice to know? Yeah. We you know, part of the work that we are going to do here at Unity of Pasadena is to dig into that kind of stuff. We already did that when we did a history. We did a history of the ministers at this place, what the congregants did, the buildings they built, the ideas that they had, the things that worked, the things that didn't work. If you were there for that, raise your hand. Yes, you were, because the board had that as an assignment, and we did that. We went through our history. And you know what we found? We found that some things don't work because of certain attitudes. That's what we found. And we found that some things really, really do work. Why? Because of certain attitudes. Just different ones. Doing that history allowed us to see and sort of plot where we want to go, what we want to do, who we want to be. You know, and who we really want to be is a group of people that take ownership for this space right here, that learn as a community together to love one another, to be a presence in the world for good. Man, that's what we want to do. We want to open the door for people who have never heard of such things, yet want to join in and pull on the same end of the rope. You know? We want to move forward. We don't want to get mired in the crap. So this cleanup thing, you know, is, as I say, all about awareness, just as the others are too. But it's really important that we know what's inside of us. Not just guess. No, just look around. Look around at the things that have shown up in your life. Look around at the way you act and react to certain circumstances. You know, you respond to life in certain ways. And just be aware. Maybe there's a better way. Maybe this is telling you something. What is that? So I love this kind of work, by the way. I love this kind of work. It is so important. It is what creates the pathway to transformation, to bringing us to that greater yet to be that I keep talking about. But you got to be able to say, that thing I did, that thing I felt, that thing I used to say was an invitation. It was an invitation to me to move past my former self, for me to move into the light of who I truly am. So I offer this invitation, you guys. And I'll start with this. The God in me recognizes the God in you. Yeah. And that's the first pillar, waking up. But I've grown up enough to know that we can operate together at the highest level possible. So namaste. Oh, yep. Well, just in case you guys up front didn't know, I got a standing ovation from 2 people back there. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you so very much. But I know the rest of the ovation, standing ovation, was in your heart. Yes, absolutely. Hey, girls, I don't know why you didn't stand up. We'll have to talk about that. That's right. Yeah, that's where, they didn't consider that Jesus was anything special because they knew him as the boy who, used to, I don't know what he used to do, but he probably had some things about him that people didn't like. So he was just a kid in town, whatever. Let's bring up Care. Now you've ushed before. Yes. Oh yeah. Well, we spread it all around. I think we got to fill this with change and just throw it up in the air. Hey, here's who's on our who's visible right now. Here's who's visible right now on our live streaming. Ellen Munoz. Ellen, I miss you. We love you, Ellen. Oh, Basha's here too. Ooh, yep, Basha. We got Virginia. Say hello, Virginia. Oh, we got Austin and Rory and Paris. Now, when I said Las Vegas, did you hear me say Las Vegas? That's who I was referring to. I'm so glad you guys are here. Absolutely. Can't wait to talk to you. We have Anita. Anita's here on live stream instead of in her seat, and that's great. I understood that she was gonna have to miss this session. Oh yeah, she got a rescue dog, so she's taking care of that rescue dog. We got Mike O'Brien. Mike, I miss you. Your seat's right there, man, but I know it's a long drive. We got Robert Lux here today. And Robert Lux, by the way, is a friend of mine. And I appreciate you, Robert. Absolutely appreciate you. We have Audrey. By the way, let me qualify. You guys are all friends of mine. But some of you are new. Audrey, it's so good to know you're here. We got Victor and Sylviane here too. Hello, you guys. Can't wait to hear you play guitar again, Victor. See you, Sylviane. We got Reba on too. And we also have Charlene from Tennessee. We got Charles DeTurk, and Charles is in Michigan. And Colleen, who is on from Illinois. So I'm so glad you guys are here. So everybody, whether you're online or wherever you are, I want you to hold what's near and dear to you. I don't care what it is, but hold it to your heart, because what we do is we do our community giving or our community loving, whatever you want to call it. And we say this: God is our source, is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. And I saw some of you holding it on your heart, and that's the way to do it. I did not do it. So let's do it again. And I'm going to hold this gift on my heart, knowing that it really affects who we are in the community, helps us to be everything we can be. And so would we please say together with our gift on our heart, God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. And so it is. Thank you, Karen.
All right, Mr. Connor. Introducing Mr. Connor. All right. All right, you all know this song, so I hope that you'll sing along. Didn't mean to rhyme. Are you ready?
almost heaven. West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, my mama, take me home. Country roads. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, my mama, take me home. Country road. I hear her voice in the morning, how she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, my mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, my mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country road, take me home. Country road.
Doggone. I should have played drums on that, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Jumped up and played drums on that.
I was going to ask you, yeah.
So this is what we promised here. Here at Unity of Pasadena, we promise to use these tithes and treasures with integrity. We use them for the benefit of not only Unity of Pasadena, but the surrounding community, to help the community grow in consciousness and in truth. We absolutely use these tithes and treasures to move the world to a higher state of being, to push that tipping point so that we can have greater peace, greater love, greater beauty, and greater truth. We're so grateful to be able to do it. We're so thankful for your participation, and we love you. I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they're already done. And please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. All right, come on up, Barbara. I'm going to take my stuff out of the way here, so as if I used it.
Okay, you guys, you took me home. Thank you very much. I mean, I felt, I feel, let's see how much younger. Anyway, I feel very young after listening to James Taylor and John Denver, really. Okay, back in those days, we thought we were all becoming very aware, and it certainly was an uplifting from perhaps where generations before us had been, and I'm grateful to have lived through those times. So that's part of my journey of faith, my self-awareness, and so hope everyone else feels at home here wherever you are on your path, on your journey. And we in the past have developed a few statements of this being our vision and our mission. So let's share them together. The vision being envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And then our mission, transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love, using practical spiritual principles. And we have some core values here we strive for: creating community, living love, teaching truth, and serving spirit. And we have a number of people who involve themselves in making this a home, and one of them is our hospitality teams, which we now call, based on the weeks of the month instead of the alphabet, week 1, 2, 3, and 4. So thank you, Team 3, for the hospitality we're going to shortly share together. And also today, being the third Sunday of the month, is also the bereavement support group. If you haven't come, you're possibly interested. See Jackie back there standing with a clipboard and the apron around her. She'll be happy to share with you about it. And then we have Michelle here, back here today, Michelle, and her regular Tuesday gentle stretch, sing, laugh, dance, etc. group. And it's back at its regular time this week at 10:30 here in the hall. So do come, have a great time, and do your body a favor and your mind as well. And Thursday meditation will again be regularly at the 5:45 time, and there'll be centering prayer and 30 minutes of meditation, a nice way to approach the end of the week. The writing group will be here as usual with Jolinda back there in the corner by the thermostat, and her group. And following a short break after that, we'll have Gay with the archetypes of the zodiac. And now everybody may want to come to this one, and that is because it's about Leo, and our leader is a Leo. So it'll yes. And as I mentioned last time, there's a parallel between what we believe here. Astrology is not a religion, it's not a faith, but it's a body of wisdom and knowledge. And on Saturday, I probably just missed it the weeks before, but each one of these that Gay talks about them, has both the light and the dark side, and actually use the word shadow, aspects that might show up, for a person influenced in that realm. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. Gay's a great teacher, so if you're free on Saturdays, come on by. And then next Sunday, we have Care. Care is standing back there. She's our usher today. And she does a series called Grace, translates to Goddesses Revealing All Creative Energy. And the session next Sunday will be on Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess, and on accepting abundance. So we appreciate the wisdom of other times and other peoples, as well as what we're currently learning and applying for ourselves. Also, next Sunday, we can do two things here at the same time. We can have sound baths with Basha, thank you Basha, and Pinocchio. And again, Jackie has a clipboard. So these are half-hour private sessions, and they are absolutely transformative. And the $45 donation, and if you haven't done it before, you're missing out on something beautiful. And pardon? Right. Okay. And then at the end of August, Reverend Greg is going to do his Unity A Way of Life class again. So if you want to review, you're just curious, you possibly are exploring membership, or just want to spend some time with other people who like to talk about unity principles, then you're invited to come. Now, there's no slide for this one, but I just happened to notice that our pianist today, Larry, dropped off some brochures about something he's doing Friday night, this coming Friday, in in Pasadena at the Morning Star Senior Living. Can you just say a word or two about it? Your mic's on.
Yeah, I'll play and sing Broadway songs, and I would love if you come. They have dinner there, and they told me you can pay $15 to eat what you want. So
There's some flyers out there. You can take a picture of it or take one of the flyers, and you're invited. And that's all I've got, Reverend Greg. So back to you.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, we're going to sing a song after we do our silent unity prayer for protection. What song are we going to sing today?
let there be peace.
Oh, peace song. We're going to do the peace song. Great. All right, so for the silent unity prayer for protection, why don't we stand up, please? And by the way, if you need prayer, we have prayer chaplains here who are available for you. And the hands are up. We got Clifton, we got Paul, we got Michelle, we got Jackie. We have prayer chaplains who will come to you if you want to stay seated in your seat and provide prayer for you free of charge, of course. And so please know that we have that service. So let's do the silent unity prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well.
Please join hands. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin